As we near the halfway point of the season, it is crunch time. Teams looking to solidify their places at the top or try and make up some ground from the middle and bottom. Either way, this is where things get really interesting. Hello, everyone. I am Metafiction, and we've got a number of great matches for you this match day. And we're starting right off with Reykjavik United against CF Catalonia. Reykjavik, of course, top of the table as things stand. Catalonia, meanwhile, have had some good form, are currently mid-table. You see there. Reykjavik with a 2-point lead over Sao Paulo going into Matchday 10. Hollywood not far behind either. This is going to be a very crucial match for Reykjavik if they hope to maintain the lead after this match day. Meanwhile, Catalonia looking to make up ground on the top teams. This would be a statement victory if they can manage it. Of course, we know Reykjavik, historically one of the most dominant teams in the SSL, but have had quite a bit of difficulty over the last few seasons with Sao Paulo and Hollywood as Neymarinho into the box here, trying to get around Kawasaki. Cuts it off to Maldonado, and it's deflected behind. And it will be a Reykjavik corner kick just after 10 minutes. Nichols puts it into the box, headed away. Trying again, and that one's sent over by Neymarinho. Courtesy of Twinkle Toes, who gets a tip to that. Trying again from the other side. Once again, back out to Neymarinho. Moving in the box, shoots, and it goes wide. And it's blocked again. So another corner kick, sustained pressure by Reykjavik. But Catalonia defending well so far. Back to Neymarinho again. Reykjavik still not quite letting up, but are forced back now a little bit. Gerard on the ball. Good tackle from Quartista to break up the move. And that 4-2-4 from Reykjavik, we know, can get a lot of players forward, can be a real vector of pressure for this Reykjavik attack. A lot of talented players going forward for the side from Iceland. Catalonia will have to be able to weather the storm. Kamanova, though, crosses, and it's Trey Quartista! And it's Catalonia who draw first blood. Well, it's a great run by Kamanova. Shaheen in pursuit, but Kamanova able to put the cross in. I believe Barr might have gotten a toe to it, but it's Quartista who fires it home. Reykjavik 0, Catalonia 1. Long ball forward from Fry now. Catalonia in the ascendancy. Here's Quartista again. Cross goes in a little too hard for Bonito in the box, and that shot there pushed behind for a corner, and now it's Catalonia's turn for a set piece. Looked like they were trying to send it out of the box, but instead it's Derbatov who's alive to it, and Shaheen now trying to run up the side. Catalonia close it down, and the ball goes back into the middle. Reykjavik with more shots, but Catalonia with the better finishing, and of course finding themselves up a goal. In years past, a scoreline like this would have been unthinkable, but it's a testament to the progress that Catalonia have made as an organization, that they are very much ahead of Reykjavik at the moment. Long ball falls to Urkel. Mourinho. Now Tentacles trying to cut inside. Good challenge from Barr, but it's right back to Urkel. Through ball to Del Pirlo. And an uncharacteristically poor finish from Alessandro Del Pirlo. Kawasaki, dwelling on the ball in defense. Estrella. Catalonia content to pass it among their back line here. Patient play from Catalonia, trying to draw Reykjavik forward. And the long ball can't quite find a home, as Bonito just beaten out there by Tentacles. Oh, but that's a terrible error, and Cortista pounces. What happened there? Let's look at this again. Tentacles, Urkel, and then Wall tries to come out. Cortista just leapt on it. Well, my goodness. And just like that, it's 2-0 to Catalonia right at the break. Well, I don't think anybody was expecting that. So a 2-0 advantage to Catalonia at the break, doubling their lead. I'm not sure it was an error on the goalkeeper so much as it was the back pass. Frankly, it was kind of a risky play, and Wall doing everything to get to the ball, but Cortista just too fast. How will Reykjavik respond to this? They don't often find themselves down, especially not in this fixture. It'll be very interesting to see how they recover from this, as it's a through ball for Rashford, but Rashford over the line, offside. Ruskin, now Gerard. Reykjavik trying to find a lane forward. They might have it here with Tentacles. And a long shot from Dimitar Dermatov. My goodness. An absolute screamer. Tentacles cuts it back to Urkel. Berbatov from at least 25 yards out just smashes it, and Reykjavik have one back. Maldonado trying to come forward. Reykjavik looking for an equalizer here, and Shaheen just gets it wrong. Well, Catalonia have done well to be up here, but we'll need to be careful. Reykjavik, we know, so dangerous. And the momentum of a match like this can change at the drop of a hat. But it's a through ball here, and Ahmed sending that into the stands. You know, I really should be less critical of players sending the ball way up high into the stands of the stadium. One of these days, one of them is going to ping a ball up here into the gantry and nearly take my head off. So I should probably be a little more respectful. In the meantime, Catalonia sending that ball long. Benito heading it down. Or excuse me, Benito receiving the header. Now Fry. Dealing with Maldonado, puts the cross in. The header from Bonito floats over the keeper, and it's 3-1 Catalonia. Joga Bonito by name, Joga Bonito by nature. What a header that was. Catalonia with an incredible statement victory on their hands if they can see it out. 20 minutes to do so, but Reykjavik do have a corner here. That one's headed away. And that one goes wide. Building up again through the middle here. Here's Fry, and that's pushed aside by Wall. Hasn't had a great day, Wall, to be honest. And now Reykjavik could be on the counter here. Rashford forced out wide by Detrella. Rashford is offside. Not for the first time today. Less than 10 minutes to play. Catalan, you just have to see this out. Not going to be an easy task, but the time is passing very rapidly. 4 minutes of added time. It's a corner here for Reykjavik. Tentacles puts it in. And it's Rashford! Surely not. Not at this stage. Tentacles puts it in. Rashford rises above everyone. Able to get it past Twinkletoes. Less than a minute of added time to play. Derbatov with the interception. Urkel forward. Now here comes Tentacles. Reykjavik have some numbers. Rashford squares it. Oh my goodness! Not like this! It ricochets in off of Detrella, and Reykjavik at the death have leveled it. Detrella trying to break the pass up from reaching Del Pirlo in the middle, but inadvertently turning it into Catalonia's net. And somehow, some way, as soon as the final whistle goes, which it surely will soon, Reykjavik have snatched a point from the jaws of defeat, and they may not be done. Here's Maldonado. Shahid centers it. Neymarinho blocked. Back out to Tentacles. Reykjavik still on the attack. Back into midfield. And that is the final whistle. Reykjavik, after being down 2 goals in stoppage time, have found a way to bring it back to equal terms. Reykjavik United 3, CF Catalonia 3, your final score there. How about that? Trequartista with a brace for Catalonia. On any other day, that might have been enough. But that cruel twist of the knife there in the 4th minute of added time. The own goal by Art Detrella. And Catalonia, having had their hands on 3 points, will walk away with only 1. An incredible fight back from Reykjavik. And honestly, one of the most fascinating matches I've seen in a long time. It'll take me a minute to come down from that. I apologize. As we move on to our next match, Chilayu Cosmico FC. I apologize, I always get that name wrong. Against Tokyo SC. Neither team in especially good form at the moment. They'll both need to really pick up the pace if they want to have any chance of troubling the top half of the table this season. It's a raucous crowd as always here in Guatemala. The fans really getting behind this new SSL organization. And this would be a great time for them to pick up a win here against a Tokyo team that has been struggling mightily this season. Yun losing out to Adamu. And it's a free kick here for Cosmico. Kunicki floats it in, and that falls into the hands of Kanders. Another free kick at like 2%. And that's headed in by Imenaktok. I'm sorry, it's been a while. They are looking at it, and it will stand. Cosmico with the opener here on right around 3 minutes. Walker. Chambers with the challenge. And now it's through to Ibrahimovic. What is Reves doing? I don't believe what I've just seen. Reves, the former Tokyo player. I don't think foul play was involved, but something, dare I say, supernatural on display there. Reves comes out to get it. Reves just teleports, there's no other word for it, back into the box. It doesn't help him stop the goal, and Ibrahimovic does level it. But ladies and gentlemen, those in between and beyond, I think Fernand Reves might secretly be Nightcrawler. I can't exactly confirm that theory, but it would explain a lot. In any case, that header falls into the hands of Kanders. Wow, I legitimately have never seen anything like that before in my life. Apologies. I was already worked up by the end of the previous match, and that has done nothing to wind me back down. My goodness. Anyway, here is Yun, who would have fired past Kanders, but was offside. Ji Yun, also a former member of this Tokyo Cairo organization. Ghosts of Tokyo past, perhaps, coming to haunt them. It is Yun who gets behind the defense, and Kanders tips it behind. At like 2%. Stands over the corner. Out to Panda. Playing a couple of back and forth passes. Imenaktuk. And Emerson takes a shot. It's off the frame. But Big B Emerson, on the second go-around, able to put it in the net. And Cosmico take the lead again. All sorts of wacky off-the-wall stuff. Apologies, it was Kanders who made the save, but parried it right onto the foot there of Emerson. How often do you see that? And so Cosmico up 2-1 now. And now could be through again off the turnover. Here's Kunicki taking a shot from range, and Kanders pushes it behind. Panda with another shot from range, and that one is blocked. Now it's Tokyo's turn for a free kick, and Lee sends that well wide. Not been a lot of joy for Tokyo in this match so far. Certainly not been a season to remember by any stretch. And at the break, Cosmico with a 2-1 lead over Tokyo. Again, both these teams could really use a win to propel themselves up the table. At the moment, it's Cosmico with a hefty advantage here. Rigby Emerson scoring that goal to put them up 2-1. After, of course, that opener from Imenaktok. I'm sorry, I still can't get over that bizarre movement by Revest in the Cosmico goal. Just that sudden teleporting movement. It's something that I think scientists are going to struggle to explain for quite some time. What is less hard to explain, though, is that cross into the box, which is headed back out at like 2%, sending it back and then getting the ball again. Greer able to intercept, and the elder statesman of this Tokyo team coming up clutch with a defensive stop there, but is beaten out here by Emerson. Plays it off of Eilish, and Emerson almost had a second. That scoots just wide at the opposite post. Now Greer will have a corner here. Tokyo looking to level again. Ekholm Gunnarsson gets it under control. Greer, Ron Flex, and then Ekholm Gunnarsson with another shot on target. And Greer back to the corner here. Floated far post. Header battle, and it comes to nothing for Tokyo. Starting to push a little bit more, though. Adamu tries to find Greer out wide, and does. Chambers, now Ron Flex. That pass was going for Lee, but able to intercept. And now here comes Emerson. Delo in pursuit. Isn't going to be able to catch Emerson. Imanaktak, now Walker. Quick passing sequence to Jie Yun. And if that's onside, Yun might have just iced it here. And it will stand. Jie Yun scoring against their former organization, putting Tokyo down 3-1, tucking it right past Canders with a great finish. I'll have a look at what VAR was looking at, and that is a close call, but Yun indeed just onside. And it's going from bad to worse for Tokyo. That attack snuffed out. Lee losing possession, and now here comes Jalayu. I'm sorry, I promise I'm trying. At like 2%. Cross into Yun, who heads it over the bar. That was a dangerous chance, though. Yun almost had another one, just couldn't get the finish right. If they can hold on to this win, Cosmico would really benefit from it. Might even rise up the table a little bit as it's squared to Kuba Kaniki. The fourth unique goal scorer for Cosmico today. It is 4-1. Well, that like 2% is completely alone. Where was Greer in all of that? Puts the pass in, Kaniki right there, and just drills it. And Tokyo's left back AWOL there. Well, how do you pick yourself up after that if you're Tokyo? Down 4-1. The season's gone, well, let's just say not how you would have hoped. And here come Cosmico again. Panda intercepting the pass, but Greer able to get in front of it this time. Eilish to Delo. Now Lee. Had the through ball to Ibrahimovic, but instead goes to Super Hoops. And the shot from Ibrahimovic blocked at the point of exit. There'll be a corner here for Greer. Trying to get something out of this Tokyo attack here. Delo out to Greer. Dribbling into the box. Shoots, and that gets past. Greer scoring on his old teammate Rivest as a second for Tokyo. Can this spur a comeback? It's a very tight finish. Had a great sight on goal that just opened up. Tokyo still with a lifeline, but their time is running out very fast. Kunicki intercepting that pass from the free kick, but Greer able to steal it back. Tokyo needing to get the ball upfield if they're to have any hope of salvaging something from this. Ronflex with a long ball forward, finds Ibrahimovic, has Lee in the middle, but can't quite find them. Now Super Hoops has a try, cuts it back to Ronflex, and it's blocked by Okoro. Now Emerson making a run on the counter here. Greer able to track back, and good defense by Greer to just put it out of play. And now Cosmico with a threatening free kick here. Kunicki, who's already scored, puts this one over. And Tokyo, despite that second goal, will be unable to come back here. And Cosmico are going to walk out of this match with a well-needed, well-deserved, in fact, 4-2 victory over Tokyo. 6 different goal scorers, 4 of them obviously for Cosmico. Imanaktak, Emerson, Yun, and Kunicki doing the damage. Consolation goals from Ibrahimovic and Greer for the visitors. Not enough. And Cosmico able to take the 3 points. And Emerson is your player of the match with a goal and an assist. A great day all around for Cosmico. The same cannot be said for Tokyo. Both of these teams hoping to turn their fortunes around in the second half of the season. Cosmico with the 3 points going a long way toward exactly that. And now for our final match of this part, it is Shanghai versus Schwarzwälder. Both of these teams we know have a lot of surprises up their sleeves. Should be a very fascinating showdown. Hopefully, at the very least, we won't see any more teleporting goalkeepers. That was spooky, I tell you. Both of these teams struggling to put together a consistent run of form. A win here today would do wonders for both of them. Schwarzwälder especially, to try and regain touch with that title-chasing pack. Meanwhile, Shanghai looking to try and climb back into the top half. Still a lot of soccer to be played. You could argue that either of these teams could still have a chance at the title. Of course, Schwarzwälder in slightly better position, as that chance nearly falling for Zhihao right off the bat. And Tony Del Vecchio forced off with injury early on. That's going to really hurt Shanghai. Well, they're important wide players as Sinclair fires that and is pushed aside by Takechi. Skavgard standing over the free kick, or corner kick, almost headed down into the goal, but Takechi again able to get down in front of it. Skavgard again near post and Maxwell over. At the other end, it's Bob. Back to the super sub. And the super sub shoots over. So many times we've seen these super sub players come on to replace an injured player and do some really special stuff. Shanghai fans will be hoping that happens today as this corner comes in, meets Clark at the first opportunity. Now Bob trying to put it over the top. Schwartzwalder able to stop it, but now here's Johnson. Skavgard, though, dealing with it. Sinclair, though, loses possession, but so does Gimathias. And Gimathias may be brought down in the box. I think that was Maxwell on the challenge. VAR is going to confirm whether or not this is a penalty to Shanghai. A tense moment early in this match. And the penalty is not given. It looked like the player there would have been Gimathias, was brought down in the box, but ultimately no foul. It was a huge break for Schwarzwalder as they are on the attack now. Here's Clark, super sub in pursuit. Back in, and that's off the frame of the goal by Kimi Häkkinen. Well, we haven't lacked for chances so far as Häkkinen stands over another free kick. It falls to Schmidt, and Schmidt from outside the box breaks the deadlock and puts Schwarzwalder in the lead. Well, it's a great strike here. Sinclair plays it out to Schmidt, and just a laser pass to Ketchy. Not much the keeper could do about that one. Bob. And worked out to Gimathias, who takes a shot, and it's tipped behind. And that one headed right at the keeper by Hoadon. And that one sent over by I'm Just Ken. Skavgard now at the other end for Schwarzwalder as we near halftime. Headed out, but it's Tuji Hao, such a dangerous finisher. Takes the shot. Takechi with the kick save. Headed up and in the air, and Habjanic deals with it. Owen Hahn in defense, Ken able to get it out to Johnson, but Sinclair winning possession here for SFB. Bit of a scuffle here. Ultimately, Forrest able to get possession. Sinclair almost getting a corner off of Ken, but Takechi scoops it up. Now Shanghai come forward again. Habjanic with a long shot. Not too far off. Perhaps time for one more good attack here before the break as that corner headed out. Maxwell with a shot, but ultimately blocked. Bob with the free kick skims over the bar, and that is probably going to be it for the first half. And indeed it is. Shanghai go into the break trailing 1-0 behind SFV. Been a very competitive match. SFV, though, holding the advantage so far on the scoreboard. As the teams get set for the second half of this match, I'd like to remind you to tune in later for the second half of this match day, as we have 3 more matches to resolve today. Buenos Aires versus Hollywood, Leafyside Celtic versus Tenochtitlan, and Sao Paulo versus AC Romana. That'll be coming a little bit later today, I believe. In the meantime, though, we are back underway here in China. Shanghai looking to try and get back on level terms. They'll have 45 minutes to do it against this SFV side. Bob, forward to Johnson. And it fell almost to a striker there in the center. That might have been Jim Matthias or perhaps Hohenhan, but ultimately nothing doing. Threatening start from Shanghai. It's a free kick from Forrest. Ultimately dealt with by the Dragons. Abjanic dueling with Clark, forced out wide. Super sub loses out to Schmidt, and now SFV on the break. Bierman. Suzuki back out to Clark. But that's broken up by the super sub, but it falls for Hakkinen. Hakkinen cuts it back. Zhihao sends it over, courtesy of the keeper. Corner now taken by Skovgaard. Sends it near post, headed up. Back out to Skovgaard, who retains possession for SFV. Bierman with a long shot, skimming off the ground, and Takechi pushes it behind. SFV reasserting their dominance here with this spell of pressure. Black Forest continuing their attack in the Shanghai defensive third. Bierman forward to Suzuki, who shoots, but was just offside. That would have been a goal, but it won't count. And so the scoreline remains 1-0. Hakkinen with the free kick, and Takechi holds on to it. Skovgaard trying to bring it forward. Able to beat everyone and squares it to Zhihao. What a run that was. Skovgaard took possession in the defensive third and managed to sprint almost unopposed, nearly to the end line. Zhihao in the perfect position to capitalize. And just like that, SFV double their advantage. 20 minutes to play, and Shanghai have it all to do now. Squared to Jim Matthias. The shot blocked, and the rebound header loops into the air, safely into the hands of Williams. That attack broken up, and now SFV coming forward again, though Johnson gets onto it. Habjanic. Now here's Voda. Through ball to Hohenhan. Hohenhan fires it past. VAR looking at it. This would be huge for Shanghai if it stands. But it won't stand. Hohenhan offside. And there's the replay. The proof is in the pudding. Just a couple of feet offside for Thomas Hohenhan. But that's all it takes. The goal off the board. Bob sends it near post, and it's ultimately headed away. Super sub does recycle it, though. Bob putting the cross in. Hohenhan had another shot on target. This one stopped by Williams. Shanghai really starting to fire back into that attacking verve that we've seen from them. But they have a lot of work to do in these last less than 15 minutes. Worked forward to Johnson. Able to get around Sinclair. Puts the cross in. Hohenhan again with the header. But once again, Williams there to stop it. Hohenhan getting in a lot of the correct positions, but can't quite get enough on the finish. Now Schmidt takes the shot, and that gets tipped behind. Black Forest continuing to exert dominance over this match as that header, once again, just blocked behind. Skovgaard again to the center of the area, this time headed away. Jihao and Schmidt has a go, and that one ends up in the stands. A win here will be huge for Schwarzwälder if they can see it out. Will keep them in that title conversation. As that cross goes in, headed away, but it's back to Schmidt. And that one has gone in, and they're going to rule it as an own goal off of Big Mac Johnson. And that will be that for this match. Let's look at the replay. It's headed back out. And Schmidt, it's just an unfortunate turn of events. I don't think Johnson's influence really made much of a difference there. I think it was headed past the keeper either way, but either way, such a shame as Hohenhan sends that over and was offside regardless. And as we play through the added time, Schwarzwälder surely just looking to seal the win now. Continue to push as Clark puts that in and does win another corner. They're going to let Schwarzwälder take it despite being over our added time. It's headed back out. Jihao tracks it down. Puts it back in. SFB still on the attack here. Final whistle has not gone. Clark with the cross. And claimed by Takachian. That surely will be it now. Perhaps one last chance for the Dragons here as Super Sub comes up that far flank, but loses out, and that is it. The referee has seen enough. It is 3-0 to SFV on today, and that is a huge blow for Shanghai, who are trying to turn their season around a bit. Dina Skovgaard is your player of the match for Schwarzwälder. 6 dribbles. Really important part of that SFV attack today. So that'll do it for the first part of Matchday 10 here in the majors. A quick recap of today's action so far. Reykjavik coming back from the dead to rescue a 3-3 draw with Catalunya. Then Cosmico able to defeat Tokyo 4-2. And of course, we just witnessed Schwarzwälder with a 3-0 win over Shanghai. Well, we hope you'll join us for the second half of Matchday 10 here in the Major League. Until next time, this has been Metafiction. Take care.